ahead, slowing down and making no time. I gotta keep it rolling. Those windshield.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Rideshare Rodeo Roundtable. We were talking a little bit backstage and all getting ready here, and we thought, why not some of that conversation we're going to bring out here tonight. We are missing a Tom, but we have the one and only Kim Side Money Plans. We have Gig Work Mama Cheyenne, and we have Michelle back from her injury from her dog last week. So we'll get into that a little bit, I'm sure, too. And thank you all for joining me today. If you're going, what the hell is going on with him? Like, I don't know either, but a 10.5-hour Curry live stream. And I just ended it like 25 minutes ago. To those who were there, y'all rock. I saw y'all coming through. It was awesome. And it was a fun day. But this will be the now when we're done, if we go an hour, which Kim always makes sure we do. And, then that'll be 12.5 hours of live streaming today. I'm surprised I even still have a voice, but we got everybody here. And Bex, before we even get into anything, since Tom's not here this week too, I think this is a good time to mention this because I don't even know, but I feel like this is a time of year where trolling and things happen. I don't know why. I don't understand why. I don't know what, but I feel like even this time last year, October, this is when like a lot of trolls are out and stuff. I don't get it.
Yeah.
But if there is no tie to that, regardless, we were talking backstage, you guys, about if you have a YouTube channel, if you're even in the chats a lot, be careful of what you're putting out. Not just for us and our channels, but for yourself. There are some, we were just talking about, we have been saying there's strange people, but there are some extremely strange people willing to take things to like levels that might not even appear sketchy at first, but just, you all know to be careful. I really don't know what else to say, but, Michelle doesn't need to tell her story, but Michelle had I don't know, like that's pretty bad. Like somebody took it to the extreme with her, somebody creeped up on Kim. This is not cool. This is, and again, it's none of your faults. These were our faults. We've all done this and realized, wait, we shouldn't have done this. And now we are being very careful. What I guess I'm trying to get out to all of you is so a lot of you have channels or a lot of you are in the chats all the time. Be careful, you guys. Just even if you're like, I don't ever give out information. I'm just saying, just be careful. People are learning things about you. I don't know. Just be careful. It doesn't need to be everybody go hide. Just be careful, As Gary always said, why do you have so many why do you give out so many wrenches? Okay, well, the best thing about the wrenches, because I know I've talked to Kim about too, about like going back in that. But the one thing nice about the wrenches is I know you're you. I got to say that is a nice thing because people can create a Thomas Mathis easy.
Now, see, I don't trust anybody, so I only give the power to people that I know are going to protect my brand.
I should probably follow her plan too, because I've seen some
are going to protect my message. That kindness is always free, because there are a lot of people that do not believe that, and everybody I encircle with in my moderators know exactly what my expectations are. So I'm the complete opposite.
Well, I'm one of your moderators and I know exactly what you want.
Yeah, I know. That's my point.
Yeah. I guess I'm just putting it out there, and it seems to be this time of year too. And especially with an election coming up and just whatever, there's just, I just did a 10.5-hour stream, you guys. And luckily I can actually say it wasn't a bad day for trolling and it's funny we even have to say that, but it wasn't. Like, I've had some weird days lately where there's been a lot of trolls and a lot of sniping. And then I'm like, make a stop and I look and it's like, 15 people were deleted or something. I'm going, what?
Well,
but it wasn't like that today. It was just good.
I remember even like last week after the show, I'm like, oh my God, like this week has been so bad. and I went through like everything that was happening. So everybody just stay safe out there. That's the only thing I'm going to say.
Yeah. Just be careful. And again, the golden rule, never give out any information. to anyone.
And this doesn't just apply to YouTube. This applies to all
No,
types of
life.
social media.
No.
Like,
I mean, like,
find it
in
so
fact-
scary whenever it's back to school time and I see my friends posting their children with the board that has like, my
Exactly.
teacher's name is, I go to this school, this is my name. And I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah. Now somebody can just roll up and be like, "Hey, Bill." Or
Yeah.
that doesn't sound like a kid's name these days.
I know, it really doesn't actually. Do people still name their
It
children
felt
Bill?
very generational. I felt like I was just
So-
tagging the 1950s or something.
Steve, I'm going to exclude you for a half a second. Sorry. But ladies, have you ever go on to like mom groups and like
Yes.
the mom groups in like your local areas is like, well, my daughter is so-and-so and she goes to so-and-so's class and she's in so-and-so's. I'm like, what the heck are you
Yeah.
doing? Like, talk about TMI. Like, it just
Yeah.
boggles my mind that just people are so outgoing with their information, and I am just keeping everything all nice and bottled up.
And then they,
So
they put
I'm
it
going to
with like a
exclude
picture.
all you women for a minute, and I'm going to say, what the hell, Kim? You know damn well I parent 24/7, 365. I am.
Yeah,
the
but
mom
she's
and
talking
the
about
dad.
mom
Why
groups.
am I
Talking about
excluded
mom
from these
groups.
I know, but why am I excluded?
You know what's actually funny? We have some dads in the mom groups, and that was like a whole
See, I didn't get
conversation
my
on its
invite.
own. Like, moms were like, why are there men in here? Like, you know, sometimes we talk about private stuff. Because mom groups, you don't only talk about children, like you talk about life too, right? So they're like, sometimes we talk about private stuff, and you know, there's a guy in here. So yeah. You guys
And I
should
get
start,
it. They'd be
dad
like, who's
groups.
the stalker? And I'd be like, dude, I'm a full-time parent that needs
Yeah.
to know stuff just like you. So shut up.
And the next
I
thing you
must
know,
say
you're,
it's like a
the
bias.
next thing you know, you're banned from that group.
I know, right?
I feel like I'd just be banned from the group just by applying. They'd be like, a guy? No.
No, some of them accept it. Like, some of them, they even like voted to change names and stuff, and they're like parents of blah blah blah.
Even
I'm
in
like,
this
what?
over PC world we live in, I still feel like I'd be banned. Dude, a guy? No. He's a full-time parent though. Yeah, no.
Yeah, no.
He can figure it out on his own. What?
Yes, but so exactly that pesky 6-digit code.
Thank you, Christopher Taylor. Appreciate you as always. Let's say hi to the chat real
6-digit
quick
code
too.
is something.
What's up, Miko? What's up, Edward? Is that the Edwards food delivery service? Is that anything to do with the guy in Seattle who started his own DoorDash, or not DoorDash, but food delivery service to compete? If you are, please let us know. I'd be curious.
Like a private citizen started their own like
Yeah,
DoorDash?
but they actually followed through with it. I've seen the news on it. Like, they did it.
Really?
And, yeah, I mean, they're only working with a few companies and they have a few drivers for them. And so, yeah.
Is it working?
I don't know. That's so I'm hoping it's him.
That's exciting.
So what's up, Traveler? Thomas Mathis, how you doing? Hey, Kim.
Hi.
Hey, Cheyenne. Hey, Bubba Sue. Becky Harris. Let's see. I said hi to Thomas. Bud Soda, Katie Free. We got Tommy. What's up, Tommy? Haven't seen you in a minute either. Shamika. We got hi, Ellen. How are you? We got Christopher Taylor, and we got
And thank you, Christopher. Much appreciated.
yeah, and then Christopher, you know, and that's the best thing to do. Give out the memberships. That lets people see other stuff too. Before we go any further, Kim just dropped me a very nice private chat that I will just boldly say that, yeah, it was. She was giving me a great reminder. I did mention it about 100 times on today's 10-hour live stream. However, that little box right above Kim's head, above the Dr. Pepper machine,
Oh,
that is those guys, and this time I mean those guys. The panel next week will be Kim, myself, Tim Gigwise, all who are different levels of doing delivered. And we will also have Chris Heffernan, and we will have Chris Barnes. Chris Heffernan is the CEO and founder of Delivered, and Chris Barnes is the app architect for the new app. So if you guys have any delivered questions at all, we should never hear again about them, because you should be here next week, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, to put those questions into the chat, because this is your time. Like, between those two, an answer will be given. So if you have a delivered question, you come here Even if you've seen Chris before on Kim's or my live, it doesn't matter. Come here next week. Between those two, every question should be able to be answered. And I know there's a lot of questions out there. I have some that I'm preparing for next week because I've been getting more and more delivered. So,
Are they coming to Canada?
I don't know.
Are they delivered? I don't know. I feel like, I mean, I honestly feel like that they did. I did ask him at one point about other countries, and I feel like he mentioned Canada as a perspective. But I remember, oh no, it was because I remember Kim. You might have even been involved in that. And I said, I asked about Montreal, and he hinted towards Toronto.
Well, yeah, because he wouldn't have to deal with the French over here.
Well, but
usually people that come into Canada, Montreal is not
the
first one because of the French
Isn't that French?
rules. Yeah, no, not really, but kind
of. Again, guys, I'm slap happy. I've been on a live stream for 10.5 hours. I want to mention something about Instacart. Kim, I don't know if you saw, I texted you. I know you've been busy. I know I think you got to see a friend or something yesterday, and that was cool. So yeah, you've had a busy week as always. Kim always does. But I texted her that last weekend on Sunday, I was going to just do one of the date streams I call like a dirty, nasty app slapping whatever thing. And do all the apps, just turn them all on because B2B is primarily on the weekdays, right? So, so it on the weekends, if I want to work and lately I've needed that extra money. So I did a roadie. I don't do a lot of roadies, but I did a roadie that I'm actually was happy with too. It was random. If you can give me more random roadies, I'll do them. It was a flower shop that's about a mile from my house. So I was sitting in my house and cherry picked it. It was a mile from the house, flower shop on a Sunday, going to 7 miles south for $25. Okay, I'll do that. Like never see roadies like that. I will say the customer's name. And when I got to the florist, I said, did you see the customer's name? And she's like, I know. That's really freaky, right? Customer's name was Michael Myers.
No. Really?
And when I got to the house, he was sitting on the chair with his head down, rocking. He wasn't trying to be weird, but he was older and he was doing like this. And there was all of his Halloween stuff was up already. So I'm going, I wasn't scared at all. I was just thinking, this is just too funny. This is comical.
No, what would even be funnier is if it was on like Friday the 13th.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I couldn't even say it to the guy. I almost did. I wanted to be like, man, your name. If this was at night, I wouldn't have brought it to you.
And he was never heard from ever again.
Exactly.
But I also did 2 Instacarts, and I dropped my dumpling card in both. But more importantly, I have an issue, and maybe you guys can help me solve it real quick. So in every state, there's different. So like I know this from my dumpling customers. So let me just explain Colorado. We all have our own versions. In Colorado, if I go to King Soopers, which is a Kroger, or if I go to Safeway, wherever I go, you put in your if you're shopping and you're not doing it through an app, it's for you. You enter your phone number. That gets you the discounts that are in the store. That gets you gas points here at both of those. And a lot of states, it doesn't do that kind of thing, but you get other perks. You get also points that go towards getting better coupons, weird digital coupons. You can use all this, that, and the other on dumpling. And I have to provide you a receipt. Now, Instacart requires you to take a picture of the receipt. And they say, and then you have to toggle a thing that says, I will not give the receipt to the customer. Are we all on the same page so far?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay. So when I got to the shop, I did the shop. It was just for a few items. It had the prices of each item, right? It says you're picking up 2 of these. You'll know it's $1, and it has it in there, $1.99. And then you find it, and maybe sometimes it's off or whatever. But I found them. You know, it was like 5, 6 items. It wasn't many. I found all in this first one, and on 2 of the items, it had what would it be at $1.48 off? So I don't know, but so on 2 items, it was $1.48 off if you had a customer number with King Supers, which is Kroger. So I'm getting up there and it says enter the number 444 444 4444. You guys seen that? Okay. Do you know that the digital receipt? I asked the customer. I actually met the customer, gave them my dumpling card. They were stoked. And I told them real quickly, I was like, yeah, in-store prices. I have to bring you the receipt. I can do multiple stops. Contact me. We had a good little chat because she told me on Instacart that there is no way to access those uploaded receipts. No way.
No.
Because in fact, she says she has contacted them on multiple occasions and said, I want to see the damn receipt, but they won't even let her upon contact. Now, also, she showed me she did not save this money.
No.
But that 444, 444, 4444 save is a deal between the stores and Instacart to get them even more money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I call bullshit, dude.
Me and Kim were like, yeah.
Now, you guys
Yeah.
thought I used to be bad. Wait till you see what I tweet at Instacart now.
Oh no.
Game on. Here's my thing. I dare you to tweet tomorrow, Instacart. I dare you to even make it nice. What a sunny day. I'm gonna wreck it. I'm gonna destroy it. You guys are just disgusting. Like you upcharge the items. You are taking the discount number. Like, and I'm curious, what happens if I type in my number? I'm just curious.
You can't actually.
You can't. You'll
it
get
goes against the
deactivated,
TOS.
yeah.
You'll get deactivated 100%.
What happens if you don't type in any number, or does it not let you
Then
pass
there's
that
no
point?
discount.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day.
Well, here's
if
my
you type
point.
in
I
no
don't
number,
if I can even skip it. I don't care about it going to me, but if I can even skip it, I want to skip it. I don't want to help them. I don't want to help them steal more money. I don't want to be part of Instacart's robbery.
I'm wondering if
can I just leave that out? Can I go, no, the keypad's broke. I can't enter the numbers. Sorry.
That's what I'm wondering.
But this is the thing. Any customer who doesn't know that Instacart upcharges a ridiculous amount to use their service, then I don't know what rock you're living under at this point, because I feel like it's a known fact about using their app. Like back in, when we were at home for those months that we were at home, like I'm like, okay, I have to use Instacart because there's nothing really out. But I knew going in there that the prices were going to be like super ridiculous, knowing I was using Instacart.
Here's my theory, though. People now have become to the point of maybe you've been ordering Instacart since then, since that time, since the 2020, 2021 era. And you use it so often, you don't even notice anymore what's going on.
People
you just now that's just part of your budgeting. Oh, I spend $500 a week on groceries. No, you don't. You spend $225 on groceries and $275 on service fees, you idiot.
As long as people have it as a convenience, people just don't like grocery shopping. Like that's just the bottom line. People hate grocery shopping. So they don't care. They're going to pay whatever amount of money. So I don't have to go out and go to a supermarket and get my groceries. I think that's why Instacart's successful. I think that's why DoorDash is moving to practically all shop and delivers at this point. And there's going to be a competition with shopping, because as long as people are going to sit at home and not want to go grocery shopping, there's always going to be shopping orders.
Yeah. But as I said last time that we brought this up, you have like different camps of people that use these apps, right? Especially when it comes to grocery shopping. I know a lot of people that would use them because them going out is actually costing them. Whereas they can be home. It's usually entrepreneurs. They're home working on their business. They place an Instacart order. Someone else does it and it's done. Then you have the moms that are super busy that don't want to bring all the children out. So they're going to do it. So you do have some people that legitimately, they know that they're paying extra, but they're paying for convenience. like I was having this conversation 2 days ago. A lot of people pay for convenience, but then you also have the people that purchase Instacart and should just go to the store themselves because they can't afford it.
I mean, I get all that, and Kim said it right, and Bud Soda saying the same thing. It's convenience, you're going to get them. But again, guys, I look, okay, I'm also a convenience with dumpling, and I can save you guys a shit ton, and I can stop at 5 different places. I can discount things. I can take away that per store on the fly. Like, you know what? I'm gonna give you needed 4 stores for me today. I'll give you 1 for free. I'll take the percentage on the other. Like, I can adjust as I want. I set the prices, but they get in-store everything. They get in-store digital coupons. They get in-store phone number, and the digital coupons are different. They can submit them to me. I can add a location any place, and not just by typing it in. I type it in and it finds it like a butcher shop. I can add anything I want, and it's always the prices in there.
Yeah.
And so
but a lot of people don't know about that, right?
Well, but it's time to figure it out, because you know what? You guys can tip me. Like the other day, I did a dumpling shop I was at the store already, but it was yesterday, actually, it ended my day. From being at the store, and it took me probably 15 minutes to get there, but I don't completely remember. But once I was at the store, okay, that through the shop to the delivery. And for this client, I've had her for a while. I bring it inside for her, because she's a human and she doesn't like her groceries thrown in the dirt. So, like a human, I bring her groceries in for her and be nice. And so here's the thing. So she, yesterday alone, now this is, her, paying the percentage of the groceries. That is how I have mine set up. You can do it, you can set it up any way you want. I like the percentage way. So, but I do the percentage way. She pays the percentage. She puts her tip in ahead of time. And almost every time, including yesterday, she put in an additional $40 tip on a $210 shop. In the end, I made $93 in 70 minutes.
Wow.
And this client used Instacart forever. She saves money with me paying me that.
Mm-hmm.
She told me she pays about 20% less than the same order on Instacart. And I get $93 out of it. If I did that for Instacart, I'd get 7. And no tip. Now I know Kim.
She would tip you, but
yeah, but I guess in my market, Instacart doesn't give you the tips. And again, Instacart, tweet tomorrow, dude. Like, I'm actually stoked about it. I can't plan it till you do it, but I'm not just gonna reply right away. I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna take it in. I'm gonna take my dog on a walk and ponder it, and I'm gonna come back and give you the worst reply you've ever seen. Like, if you don't block me after this one, I will be shocked. So you guys watch for a community post tomorrow. It will be my tweet. I usually try and add on to theirs. It will be awful.
Oh boy.
I promise you that. What's up, Mad Dasher? How you doing? What's up, Home Base? Good to see you guys. What's up, Gator? Hope everybody's well. But yeah, I don't know. This really bothers me. It does. And I hear you, Kim, about convenience, but when we're talking about 15 to 30% upcharge on a per item, we're talking about using the phone number to get the discounts, and nobody knows where they're going. When we're talking about processing and service fees that are through the roof, and when we're talking about Instacart going, you know what, guys, it's really shady and crappy of us to pay you an $8 base pay, so we're gonna make it $7. Mm-hmm. That logic just doesn't work for me. So.
Yeah.
But now, Kim, why don't you counter it? Because Kim does have great experience on Instagram. So
I guess the way I look at it is, as long as somebody's paying me and I'm getting paid good, it's up to the customer to make that choice for them if they want to use the app. I'm just the person who's making money off the app. So, you know what? That's between Instacart and the customer, whatever. As long as I'm making money, I don't care, to be honest with you.
No, but here's my point. I know you. You're a salesman. You're a business person. You do multiple things. You're a parent. You got it going on. So my point is, I understand all. Like I've talked to you off camera about this. I need to go land more dumpling clients. I know you have one in mind. You would like to talk to. What is stopping you from doing it? I understand time, but I mean, like literally,
like
if,
time.
but if you started seeing that and you saw that one customer who's like, "I'll shop from you every week, Kim,"
if
and all of a
I
sudden
had
that becomes $100 order.
Yeah, if I had a known client base that I knew I could set up these people and I knew I was going to get revenue off of it, I think it would be different. I think the thing that's setting me back is the unknown, right? So every one of these gig apps, you know exactly you're going to get an order, you're going to get your money. Like this is like the unknown factor. Like I don't have time just to go out and get clients and set up my own business. And I see Michelle's in here and she's fantastic at it. You're fantastic at it. I just don't know whether it's me, but every time I see the same client and like they know me by name by now. I have one
That's my
customer, and I've
point.
talked to Steve about this. I have one customer who they see me as their shopper, and then they always give me an extra $20 because I'm their favorite shopper. And that's like somebody I would want to get into like the dumpling world.
Yeah.
But a lot of it is just time. I don't know how I squeeze in everything I squeeze in a week.
I don't
day,
either.
So
I'm just trying to add more to your plate because clearly you have the time. You guys, this is what happens when you do a 10-hour live stream. You just things don't make sense. A and B make F. I don't know. And you guys, Michelle was hurt last week. Did she pass out?
I think so.
I think so. She
I'm
did
gonna
say that she was.
I'm going to take her off, you guys. She can come back anytime she wants. Good night,
Michelle. Poor Michelle.
I know.
No. I left her backstage. It's just that people shouldn't be seeing her passed out, man. They might be like, "Why is she dead?" Like, she's not. She just had a rough week.
She's not. Man. Yeah. Yeah. Tell me about it.
But yeah, you guys. So if you were not with us last week, Michelle had her dog pulled her off the patio. She had to go to the hospital. She's all fine, but she's been on some painkillers and getting over that. So I think she's just out. So she can join back anytime. Otherwise, the three of us are just going to have a little combo tonight for the time we have left. So I don't know, Kim, I know there was an article I was going to send, or maybe I did to you, Cheyenne, a few days ago. It was something about the DoorDash release in British Columbia. They've now on their website changed that a little bit. Have you seen it?
No, I didn't see that.
I'll try and pull it up. But in the meantime, I got some good delivered questions for you before next week. I want to ask you, Kim. I want to see if you know, because I'm a little confused. No, okay. So, but Cheyenne, you can probably weigh in on them though, because I'm a little confused. So I get very confused, like how much, and other people in the chat, please participate in this as well if you think you have an idea. So when I'm getting a lot more now, right? So I've hit my 10, and like on the new app, even although they had to reset my account. It's a long story, but I've got those 10 now and blah, 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 but I'm getting a lot more. And when I get them and I'm driving, I know I'm supposed to open this. I know I'm supposed to decline it. And I know it sits in my queue for 5 minutes for me to take or not take. But what if I'm driving? And around 1 o'clock, sometimes it'll be back to back. I'll have one, and then I can kind of barely pull over and decline it. And then I'm driving again. Another one pops in. I'm telling you, between 1 and 1:30, if I'm on a curry. Oh.
Yeah, I would always pull over because it's bad if you just let it time out and it goes to the next person. It actually counts against you. So if you're I'm trying to become Emerald, if you do too many, they will actually stop sending you offers, and it'll also prevent you from becoming Emerald down the road as well.
So not opening it and declining them.
Declining is fine. I'm
right.
Just
No.
saying,
okay. Right. Declining is fine. It's neutral, whatever you want to call it. It's not good. It's not bad. It's neutral.
No.
But not going in there and not doing it is not
It's
okay, and you're penalized.
Yeah. No, don't do it.
But you're penalized.
In a roundabout way, yes. And if you do
See,
it too many times.
I'm gonna put a pin in that for next week too. I
Yeah,
do want
if
to
you
ask that. I
too
want to know.
many times. I think Chris said this on, I think it was my live. I think one of our lives, he said this on that if you decline, if you just let it go because you're on an order, whatever, you missed it. Okay, mistakes happen, whatever. But if they see a pattern going on, if you do it too many times, it could prevent you from getting orders. And also if you're going for emerald status down the road.
So I guess what I'll put a pin in for next week then is to ask them, don't you guys see my
Yeah.
GPS on a highway? And if
But
I'm moving like
soda-
that, shouldn't you know that?
Yeah, it'll count against you in the algorithm. So algorithm is known as Frederick. That's what they call their algorithm. So
Yeah.
it'll kind of trip Frederick not to send you orders. So not only if you're trying for emerald, it'll prevent you from doing it, but also it'll trip Frederick and you'll start seeing less orders come to your phone.
Okay. Now,
So
part
always
B,
accept or decline.
and we know that you're never supposed to cancel ever. But guess what? Today, I got a banger curry that took me to a different state. I had to take it.
You
Had to take it.
canceled.
And whoa. Hear me out. I had to cancel one. I called. Josh was in the live stream and he's like, I'm like, what do I have to do? He's like, call. He puts the number in there. I call. The lady was super sweet. She said, it will not affect your ranking with us, but you are suspended for 3 days. Well, 10 minutes later, I accepted an order that is in my morning queue.
What?
I think I was suspended for 3 or 4 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. That's not.
But
bait.
it was very weird. And again, I had other ones pinging to me too. I was like going, what the hell? Like,
That's weird.
I'm not telling you guys to do it because it is not. It's like how I say it about curry. You're not. It's a no. Don't take something if you can't take it. But this was that one time. It was a banger. It was going out of state. It paid a lot of money, guys. I had to take it. And again, I also had kind of forgot about. I mean, I don't. I always remember my delivereds, but I try and stay local until I get them done. This was a 12:05 that needed to be somewhere at 12:35, and I was absolutely stoked about doing it, but I couldn't pass this money up. There's a point of money too. But yeah, I mean, I normally would never do that. My point is I did it. And she even told me you won't get orders for the next 3 days, but don't worry, it will not hurt you. It's just, I took it as like a timeout. You need to take a timeout, bro. You took an order and you didn't do it and time out. And I even accepted it. I told her that, I said, that's fair. I said, I understand that those are the rules. And of course, the next half hour, I had 2 or 3 orders. I mean, I didn't get to take them all, but I did take one. But I just thought that was strange. I have been jamming and taking everything. Like, I got to say, like, I was taking all open boards. Now it's like anything coming through. And I know a lot of you guys will think, no, that's a stupid move. Kim won't, because she is always on the top of all these apps, like Top Dasher. Like, I got all these %. So she'll see what I was doing. But I was grabbing open boards at $20 that maybe weren't even close to me. I was just trying to knock them out. Like in the beginning, like not caring. I really wasn't looking at the price. And that's not how I work. You guys know that. But I have been doing that till now with it. Now I look at it a little more. And again, like Kim said, I just decline. Because if you do that, it's fine. I do know that. If you decline, they don't care. What I do think is weird is the fact that if you don't, because I mean, a lot of times I'm on the road and I'm in traffic on a highway. It's hard, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't have a solution. So we're going to put a pin in it. Next week, again, we have the delivered team. And if they can't answer it, nobody can. So, but yeah, like this week, Kim, like you, I don't even know. We haven't even talked. What about you and delivered?
Standard week. I think it's a standard week. I take it, like I said, I take everything that comes to me just because I'm trying. I'm trying. I'm trying to get there. So, yeah, to me, it's been fine.
And that's another thing we need to put a pin in for next week, because I need to know, like, how I really want to know, like, how impossible is it for like not the Kims, but the me's, even trying as hard as I am to get emerald. Like, being that I'm just in here, and there's
Yeah,
these
the one
other
thing
emeralds who
I've
own it.
Yeah, the one thing I've been playing with delivered is my portal. As far as like my pickup zones to see if, I shrank it, but did I shrink it too much? And so I opened it to see if I get more. Like I've been playing a little bit around with my portal in that effect. But you inspired me. This week I did a short on relish. I actually found the exact verbiage on what a relish order is. So if anybody ever questions why their order goes up at 9 o'clock the next morning, I answered that question for you.
Or down.
Yeah.
Kim's being nice. Mine went down. Not a lot.
I've
but
never seen it go down. I've only seen
see,
it
only to
go
me.
up.
Okay, pinning that one too. Hef and Chris B. We're going to be talking about that next week as well. Why am I being targeted? But again, I do want to point out what I did today was a no-no, a big no-no, especially if you're trying to grow your thing. If you're trying to grow your presence on there and get to Emerald or even potential, what I did was a no-no. So next week, it's going to be great conversation because we're going to learn how much of a no-no. I'm going to tell them what happened.
Well, it's not just like they factor in so much when it comes to Emerald from what I know of. And granted, I'm not Emerald, so I really can't talk from experience, but like they don't just factor how many orders you take. They factor in lateness, they factor in, dropped orders. Like they customer service and if you got rated at all, so they do take in a lot of factors into becoming Emerald, because let's face it, if it's like the elite of the elite in their app, so if you're an elite, you want to be the best of the best, and that's what they're looking for out of Emerald drivers. So.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm just it's first of all, like, 5 minutes. That's a long time in your queue, man. Like, yeah. I feel like, okay, here, maybe here's how I'd say it. I would be willing to go, oh man, I'm almost hesitant to say this, but I would be willing to have it be just mine in my queue for 1 minute. And if I accept it in that 1 minute, it's mine. If I don't, it auto declines and it doesn't count against me. I would rather that happen than have 5 minutes with it.
Yeah. Actually, Bubba Sue said it actually perfectly right here. 10% in your market, ratings, reviews, timeliness, and responsiveness. So anytime you just let an order go, it counts against you.
Like, what do you mean? Like, okay, Bubba Sue, what's the math of what I did? And she was in my 10-hour live today, so I'm tired. So what? Wait, what? You probably were there when I had to cancel it.
She was probably screaming at you through the phone. Don't do it.
There were people yelling at me in the chat. It actually helped get my the chat numbers up, or the people in the stream. People in the stream were coming in just to yell at me. You doing, idiot? Like nothing.
Oh boy.
But I'm wondering, like, so what kind of damage did that do? I mean, I'll ask them next week, and I want them to be straightforward. But then again, I was put on delinquency notice and I was suspended for 3 days, but an hour later I had 2 or 3 orders and I took one.
Yeah. I mean, I got threatened by Deliver That, and at the time, like, whatever, he threatened me away. But I had an order on Deliver That, and it was an hour before pickup, and I got a flat tire. And I had to go. Obviously, I had to get the donut on, but I had to wait for my husband to come to help me get the donut on. And then I had to go to the tire service. I'm like, there's no way I'm making this order. And they're like, well, that's going to count against you, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, I'll show you the receipt once I get my tire changed. Like, I had proof that, but anyway.
So Bubba Sue was in the stream and she said she told me to call and do it. Thomas is saying calling's better than nothing. I agree with all that. Here's my thing. Here's what I'm wondering, I guess. How many we know that a bunch of people just don't show up, and that's why they get so mad about this stuff. Like, where are they? I don't know. Get somebody else out there. They can't afford to have catering be late. So I called 3 hours prior because I had accepted this out of state curry. So I knew, I mean, it wasn't even about, I was still 3 hours from the delivered, but I knew I'm not going to be back here or it's going to be too tight. And I called and I'm wondering if they said, you're suspended for 3. I'm wondering if it's some way they pulled up my account and they were like, you know what? He's been taking a lot of orders lately. And you know what? He called in 3 hours early. Let's not dox him. Because again, Kim, you know, when we call, we get people on the phone.
Yeah, their support is fantastic.
And that's what I'm saying. I'm wondering if they actually took that into account. We're looking and going, you know what? Don't suspend him.
No, I think, in my opinion, they have one of the best supports out of any app that's out there.
Well, first of all, they win by default just by having humans that answer. And in this country.
Yeah.
You know, no offense to other countries, Cheyenne.
What?
You're in a different country.
That's true. I don't think anyone outsourced customer service to Canada.
Well, I mean,
what? Because we're nice.
I just like, though, with delivered, like, you can actually text them. Like, you don't have to, like, get on the phone. Like, it's not in-app message that you have to go through AI and says, not my problem, not my problem, not my problem. Oh, now you want to connect with, like, you don't have to go through that. You just literally text and they text you right back and help you solve your problem. That's what I love about it.
I see some people asking, so I guess we should probably, Cheyenne asked if we should talk about this at all too. So, you know, Christopher Taylor's asking, is Gary okay from the hurricane? I hope so, because I was telling Gary, you're going to get hit with it. And he's like, no, I'm not. And that was Helene. That was the first one. I'm like, you're going to get nailed. He's like, no, it's not hitting us. And I'm like, okay. And then I actually did talk to him before this, but I know this came in a lot weaker. But we also know a bunch of other people in that zone. Luckily, it really weakened down. Because I know that they weren't joking, and it wasn't just because of the power of Helene on why the NOAA said, you know, hey, no, this is a big one, and really took it very seriously. And so, you know, they weren't displacing people thinking that when it hit, the eye would be a category 3. They thought it was still a 5.
I think Michelle might be back. Hold on. Should we bring her in?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Hello.
How was your nap? We just took you out because you were napping. We didn't want anybody thinking you were hurt or anything.
I shouldn't have put my leg up. That's ridiculous. And then all of a sudden I fell asleep.
Oh, wait. Okay. JP is here and he's saying, Steve, the suspension wouldn't start until tomorrow. That's weird.
That's what Bubba Sue just said.
Wait, that's weird. Is that for real?
Well,
So,
maybe
like, if
it
it gets
takes a
covered.
system.
Okay, well, I accepted one for tomorrow. It's scheduled in my queue.
But then you
Yeah, but
won't
if
get
they get
one
someone to
for the
cover
next
it.
day.
Okay, but well, so they say 3 days. When does the 3? Dude, this sounds like weird math. I know I'm tired, but come on, guys. Like, so I got suspended for 3 days, but it doesn't start for 24 hours, and I'll see all the orders during that. But then my suspension starts, and it goes for 3 days then, or it's 3 days from now, but the first day isn't really a suspension.
Think about it as like being suspended from school, right? So you do something in school, your suspension doesn't start until the next day.
The next day.
Yeah, same concept.
I beg to differ. If you're suspended from school, they don't go, you know what, finish out the day and don't come back tomorrow. They go get the hell out of here.
No, but the day that
No,
they
but the
send
day
you
that they
home,
count.
I know the day that they send you home doesn't count towards your suspension. Your suspension actually starts
I
the
wouldn't
next
know.
day.
All you guys kick me out of your mommy groups. Assholes. And by the way, those that missed the start of the stream, us men should be mad. You know, this is something to be mad about. It is, because, I mean, like Kim was saying, you know, or Michelle maybe, about how there should be men groups or whatever. Or when a man comes in, even if they don't say, you know, everybody's like, why is this dude in here?
I totally think it's sketchy. I'm not going to lie.
Okay, but what,
completely think they're
Cheyenne, you
sketchy.
know me, like I am a single,
know.
my son just got home. I'm a single dad, 365 days a year, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day.
I would still think it's sketchy if you're in a mommy group.
I'm with.
Where am
Bubba
I
Sue on
supposed to
this one.
go?
They have.
They have dad groups.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what? They're with like deadbeat dads who are being forced to attend parenting classes and shit. It's not the same
Well,
thing.
then you guys need to moderate your groups better.
There you go. Maybe on Facebook, maybe Michelle can help you, and you can start your own dad group on Facebook. Done.
Just so you all know, if you guys know Zach Drives Fast, Kim used to do a live with Zach. Zach is a good friend of all of ours. Zach and I actually were going to start an audio podcast because Zach is a solo dad as well.
Yes, he is.
Zach is a 24/7, 365 solo dad as well. And him and I were going to do an audio podcast that was for like, I can't remember. We had like 3 different names. And if you know Zach between us, we had some pretty clever names. But it was like, it was definitely targeting single dads. Like even
Which
if you
is
were,
good, it's needed.
even co-parenting situations, because we had both been through those. So like,
But it's needed. I saw this one guy yesterday. The fact that you said solo dad, it clicked. I think he's on TikTok, and he's solo parents, but he's not a single parent. And the way that he explains it is because him and his wife, they work at the hospital, but they're on opposite shifts. So they actually don't see each other. And he's with the children while she's at work. And then she comes home and then he's at work. So he documents their life, 3 children, I think under 3 or under 4. Like, it's insane.
We used to call that
solo
the swinging. We call that the swinging door syndrome. One went
Yeah.
out, the other one came in the door.
That's exactly it. So he documents, and it's technically like he's a single dad, but he's not. That's why he calls it solo parenting, not single parenting.
yeah, I'm just going to write a book called Women Are Sexists. And here's why.
Because I don't think because of laundry.
Man.
If anybody would buy that book, give me a thumbs up in the chat.
We'll
But now
support.
that Michelle's back and we're kind of winding down time, Michelle, you weren't here last week, and I'm glad you're feeling better.
Thank you.
Everybody is, but what's the buzz in the group now?
Yeah, so it's consistent. Basically, two items are totally consistent. The first one being is the but he's putting a thumbs down.
No.
For Steve's book.
All right, I respect Bubba Sue. I won't do the book.
Yeah. Oh my God, there's nothing more consistent than the ID checks. And it's very, very offensive to everybody with the constant ID. And some people have to do it every single day. And they're taking it as offense. Now, if any of you did Uber Eats for about 2 or 3 years, I had to do Uber Eats at the beginning of every shift for about
it comes in phases with me. Like sometimes it'll be like for a week every time it wants it. And then it'll be like, we don't need it for a while.
We all know why that they're doing it, so that's no surprise.
But it is, because why aren't they? We all know why they're doing it, but why aren't they doing it to what we all know why about?
Yeah, they're taking out the wrong people.
And they never check those accounts.
Yeah, they're taking out and so that's one thing. And the other thing is over communication with customers. For instance, I have a stacked order, and so why we know that DoorDash will basically tell the customer, your driver is delivering another order right now. You don't need to be doing that. And the tit for tats that the drivers are getting into, because some drivers believe communication is everything. I've done about 18,000. I don't talk to my customers at all. Basically, I tell them I'm here. That's it.
Michelle, let me ask you: have the new rating system on Shop and Delivers, has that been a big thing on this week?
The which one?
The new ratings on Shop and Delivers
on
DoorDash.
Yeah, it's for the most part it's offended people. People. Are you talking about like you only do so many find so many items, and are you talking?
Wait,
Yeah,
guys, explain this to me like I don't do DoorDash.
Okay,
since I
so
don't do
this
DoorDash.
week in a lot of
don't do
areas, this week, obviously you didn't watch my video this week. This week, in some areas, well, a lot of areas, they do now. You now have a separate rating system for Shop and Delivers.
Yes, you do.
So it now goes over your lifetime deliveries. But the controversial part, which I think is bogus, is they're now holding you accountable with how many items you actually pick. So if something's out of stock, your score goes down, and it's not your fault. It's because the store is out of stock on it. But yet you're getting rated on it.
I have that in my Uber Eats one for shop and deliver.
Yeah, I get that by email with DoorDash.
Right, but I'm saying, like, has it always been there for Uber Eats? Because I just started doing the shop.
No, it wasn't
there too.
always.
It's like items you've got correct or something. I'm like, dude, I've got them all correct, and it's got me at like some weird percentage. Like it's got it off,
no, there's now like a full breakdown of your shops. But the thing is it's completely separate from the email you get on Mondays. To me, the email you get on Mondays is it's your fill rate, it's your customer service rate, how many you've actually done. Like, to me, it's a little bit more tangible because it actually affects you as a driver, how you did. This is just completely subjective, and it's like it even rates your substitutions on how many you substituted versus how many you actually picked, and like they're scored in order to be like pro level. It's like 98%.
So
very good point. What if the produce is yucky? Like,
that's the point. But
like, what if you have a very responsive I've never, by the way, again, still I got to remind people I do some DoorDash, but it's just more testing and to see where it's at. Again, I do better on Uber Eats. So even when I am doing that, it's Uber Eats. But when you are doing that, doesn't DoorDash have, I mean, people just don't respond, but it's like with an order, you have the ability to contact them, right? And say, hey, they're out of this. And right.
But a lot of times
I know they don't answer.
No, but a lot of times in the app, the customer actually pre-programs some items that says refund
if not this,
item.
then we want this instead. Right.
Yeah, or it'll say refund item. If it says refund item, like you just refund the item. Like it's not your fault that the customer doesn't want.
So that counts against you too, a refund item?
Yeah.
Okay. What about like if they don't have it, but they did put in a backup and you take that? Is that wrong?
It's not wrong, but you're still going to get dinged because you substituted an item. So there's two separate scores. I know, it's ridiculous.
Okay, this is Instacart. This is these guys.
No, this is DoorDash.
DoorDash.
Yeah,
I know. I just wanted somebody to say it was. It's Instacart. Don't forget tomorrow. Please make your tweet. Make it early so I got time to really destroy it.
So here is exactly what it is. So it's the original items found. So it's how many your original items are versus how many you actually found. So if a store is out of stock, they count it against you, and that's what that percentage is. And according to DoorDash, in order to be a pro at shopping, you're supposed to be at 90%. So the next one. I know. And the next one is total items found. So it's your total number of items that you actually had to shop versus how many items you actually refunded or you substituted.
Yeah. I haven't been able to post most of what they have submitted because there's so much profanity in what the people are saying about it. They're not liking being judged so harshly in this rating system.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
I mean, Kim, obviously I know you always do the perfect job. So my point is like, so you're noticing a ding now then you can't even, you have no control over. There's nothing you can do.
I would like to think I'm a pretty darn good shopper, and no, my original items found, I'm at 87%. And that's with me communicating with almost every single one of my customers. And then total items found, I'm supposed to be at 98%. I'm at 96%.
So is even trying to communicate with them even worth it anymore then? Because even if they give you a replacement item, I mean, this is almost incentive to not even try and communicate with them.
But then what do these stats do?
Even if they're like, yeah, replace it with this, you're still going to get dinged. Doesn't matter.
No.
But that's what I'm like. What's going to happen if the stats like fall to a certain level? Is this going to be like another thing that they're going to
Then they're going to
create.
say enough. We've had enough of you Instacart shoppers.
Yeah.
We're letting the bots take over. I'm just
Well,
kidding. I know it's
yeah.
DoorDash.
No, but that's what I said in my video. Like, are these stats because shop and delivers have become so big on DoorDash and they just added 5 more grocers to their list? It's become so big. Are they going to use these stats against drivers, just like completion rates, just like acceptance rates? Will it prevent you from getting some of the bigger batches? Like, I could see that happening down the road, just a hunch that I have, but it's like shopping is so big on DoorDash right now. These are here for a reason. We just don't know what that reason is right now.
I think that's already happened because
Yeah.
people said that they would get 5 to 20 shop and delivers a week that they haven't had any in weeks.
Wow.
So I think that probably has already happened. And the question is usually, is anybody else not getting shop and delivers anymore? Kind of like anybody else not getting EBT anymore because they've locked them out of that.
But my thing is too, how many times do you go for shop and deliver on DoorDash and you just don't even get a response from a customer? I don't know
Yeah.
if they're not expecting a response from us, but like you get nothing. So you have to, like, I just automatically refund them because I'm not going to pick something that I don't know that they're going to, I would
Of
rather,
course not.
I know, I would rather
And
do
now
the
the
refund.
incentive's gone because you're going to get penalized even if you do. And,
Right.
and they might say, hey, yeah, give me this instead. And then they might call Instacart and go, I didn't want that.
Right.
DoorDash.
But then there's
Yeah.
also, there's a rating for substitution issue. So they can actually rate you on that as well. So if they don't like your
That's my point.
substitution-
It's almost, I mean, I see Bud Sody saying, yes, you do it, Steve. Service. I know how to give the best customer service. My point is, I'm almost as I want, even if I want to do it, I'm almost at a point where I don't want to because we already know people call in things to get free DoorDash all the time anyway. So if I'm giving them an opening to screw me and that's it, and even if they don't, I'm going to get dinged anyway.
Yeah, because there's also a category for also items that are wrong or missing. So a customer
I would just put they don't have it with everything. And I actually, on the times I do, I'm on those type of platforms and I'm doing that type of work. I do communicate. I'm great with people. But you know what? Now knowing this about DoorDash, I won't be. And it's not to be mean to the customer or anything. It's because I don't want to be penalized any more than I already will be.
Well,
But come
speaking
on. Sorry,
Oh.
Michelle. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No,
Go ahead.
speaking of that, they're also getting these. I haven't gotten one, but they're also getting notifications that 20 to 30%, stop it, basically 20 to 30% of the items you're delivered are damaged. Now,
What?
What?
we're getting damage complaints, and these people are going, what are you talking about? What are you talking? And they're saying, did you notice how many damaged items you're delivering? And they're getting separate emails and notifications about damaged items. And everybody is sending in things saying, I have no idea what they're talking about. Does anybody else?
Well,
I don't
don't
know.
order your mattresses through DoorDash. So I know they teamed up nationally with mattress firm, but I haven't seen any.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So Kim, I don't know. Have you seen that damaged one? I mean,
I have not. What I was gonna say about this is the whole substitution thing and rating you on how many items you substituted. Like their percentage is 98%. Like you have, like, in order to be 98%. You have to find 98. Like I just keep saying, you have to find 98% of
So
the
if you
items
if you
that
don't,
were
are you supposed to just cancel the order? Forget it.
Well,
I'm done. Like,
we can see the items before, and if I look at the list of items and I'll say, oh, those are items that are readily available, I'll go do them. But if they're items that are hard to find and they're unlikely to have it, I won't accept the order.
Wow.
That's crazy. If
well,
you
you know
have-
that Instacart, you know me, if people see, oh, we're not talking about Instacart again, but shopping pays. They'd see me and they'd be like, a guy cancel. I'm going to get a girl.
Michelle, if you find that post with the item, the damaged items, send it my way.
I'll find it. There's so many.
So
Yeah.
while we wrap this up, I need to ask you, Kim, is the video I missed this week the one that said women over 40?
No.
Is that the one I missed?
No.
This whole
It's a
episode's
different
been
one.
picking on guys and Steve. Just so you guys know.
Not so.
First of all, I
She's
really
playing the
like that.
victim right now.
Even though I really like that video, me personally, but no, it is. It just says new ratings.
I'm just showing you
think
I
it
know
says.
your titles, and that one was this week. Happened to just kind of not. Did you miss my video? Yeah, I did, because it said women over 40 again. And I don't
First
even
of
remember
all,
what it was. It was
It was
what
an awesome
Is it-
video. So
Right.
just
No.
saying.
Okay. Actually, that one I did see, and I was just joking. So but I'm curious. Was it just DoorDash?
Yeah.
You weren't talking about gig work. It was just DoorDash.
I mean, it could apply to gig work.
Right.
In YouTube terms, you have to use keywords.
You're right. If you put
it was
DoorDash in, you get twice as many views.
Yeah.
Even if the video's not about it, guys, just put DoorDash
That's
in the
true.
title.
That's actually true.
You know,
And,
check out my truck, DoorDash. Or just give them a tour of your truck and don't even do anything with DoorDash. You know, but yeah.
Oh, by the way, before I forget, because I thought of it yesterday and then I almost forgot just now. It's our Thanksgiving on Monday. So if there's any Canadians that are out here, I do remember Thanksgiving, not last year because it was horrible, but the year before that, the Saturday and Sunday for grocery shopping was good. Food, not that much. And then it's going to be, you do have some places that are open on Monday, but it's not going to be a lot because it's the holiday. And then after that, it might trickle because just like I'm assuming in the States, everyone has leftovers. So they're not really ordering much throughout the week. But definitely this weekend, if you can get out and do some Instacarts, do some DoorDash shop and pay, or Uber shop and pay, DoorDash shop and deliver. Yeah.
So your Thanksgiving. Sorry,
Go
just
ahead.
real quick.
No, go
So
ahead.
your Thanksgiving. So like, what is your feast? Like ours is turkey. Is it like the same
Yeah,
thing?
turkey.
Okay.
Yeah.
So question, follow up. Again, guys, if anybody laughs at me, screw you. So what is this? 3 weeks in front of our Thanksgiving? Did the Mayflower stop there first? Because I'm only saying it because she's on the coast. If she was like Toronto or something, like that's inland. But am I missing something here? What?
Honestly, didn't they say that our Thanksgiving was set first?
Right. Did the Mayfair hit there and they're like, Canada? No, go
Because-
south.
Well, the whole to not go into all that, but the whole history of Thanksgiving is something like technically a lot of people here don't celebrate it just because of what it represents.
Yeah.
But a lot of people do celebrate because it's a day off, right? So they're like, oh, a day off and we get to eat and
Genocide or
be
turkey?
with your family. Exactly, right?
Wow.
Especially in Canada, like what? We know what happened here years ago, right, guys? But yeah, it's
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but also, you know, I guess that also comes down to, do you guys, I've never asked you this, do you guys have that population of Indians like we do?
Mhm.
You do? You have big,
Yeah.
big reservations of Indians? Okay.
Oh yeah. Like there's whenever I go to track for my children, because our bridge right next to us is under construction, I take the long way and I actually go through the reserves 3 days a week.
Okay.
But yeah, there's a very big population over here.
Yeah, like in Colorado, there's a bunch too. And if you go down to the Four Corners, which is where Utah, where you can stand in 4 states at once, you can stand in Utah, Colorado, Arizona, and New Mexico all at once. If you go down there, there's Indian reservations everywhere, like everywhere. And you'll have like Cherokee and you'll have Navajo, and they'll be like adjacent. They'll be like touching. So like, and as you go through each one, you're under their jurisdiction of law. It's very weird. So if you guys,
I slow down when I drive through there because I don't want to get a ticket over there. Like if I get a ticket, I want to pay it online. If not, you got to go there. You got
and it's not against anybody specifically, but they do love to write tickets because they, as much as they love us coming on the reservation and patroning and stuff, they also like to write the tickets to us.
Well, of course. And at the end of the day, I'm not going to get into it, but I don't blame them.
Yeah.
I don't blame them.
Well, I'm going to celebrate Turkey Day. I always do. I don't know. You know, all of us got here somehow.
Yes, that is true.
Except for
true.
except for the Indians. So
yeah,
you know, invite an Indian over for Thanksgiving, and do them right. You know,
that's the important part.
Don't say you want to spend the night and hand them a plague blanket.
No. That's not gonna work. Oh, there
let's,
are in Arizona? I didn't know that.
let's respect them. Oh yeah, there's tons in Arizona.
Yeah.
You gotta remember we relocated them all over. We're like, oh, you like the East Coast? We
Yeah.
want you all the way over there. Like,
It's actually
they
interesting
weren't
when
nice
we're doing
settlers.
social studies.
We're here now and we're trying to be the best people, but honestly, I don't think we were the
It's
nicest
sad.
settlers.
It's sad. And
Yeah.
like over here, when you do social studies in elementary school, you have to teach Quebec history. And obviously, Quebec history has a lot to do with Europeans that came over here and what happened and, you know, the illnesses and all that kind of stuff. So I'm teaching that to my son. And I'm like, well, this is the real deal. Like, they don't really tell you this exactly in school, but that's the joy with homeschooling, right? You can go through the fluff and talk about the real stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, you can do real history like by the campfire when you're camping and stuff as like horror stories. You want to hear the real story of the Plymouth Rock?
Just indoors because I don't do outside. I don't
but
outside.
Anyway, I digress.
105.
Oh,
I
you're over. That was my fault. Holiday.
Thank you, Thomas. No, it was cool. I felt like I was abused a little bit tonight or something.
Oh, don't play the victim.
All right, I'm not the victim. I don't play the victim. I'm a single parent who can't get into mommy and me groups. And the daddy and me groups are like people just out of prison who are being forced to see their kids. So I was like, I don't want to be in that group either.
So start your own group, like I said.
Start your own.
Yeah. You guys know as well as I do, I'm gonna be honest, the stats are pretty stacked against me. There's not many single dads.
It's true.
Really isn't. I mean, there might be co-parenting single dads, but there's not many single dads who are like, I got this, and the mom's like, later. Like, that just doesn't happen much.
No. And a lot of times when it does, it's something traumatic. So it's
exactly. So before we leave, and I know Kim wants us to go, I did send it to Kim, but by the way, I'm very proud. My son just got home. I'm very proud of my son. I'm sure he's hearing this. He's been coaching baseball for a while, but he's also been doing working at the rec center and doing his lifeguarding thing and all that. But he was coaching Little League, and it was their like Pee-wee football, and it was their third game last night. I hadn't been to one yet, and it's my new favorite sport. I love it. It's so cool. It was so awesome watching him coach. He's like, come here, bring it, get over here. And they're 5-year-olds, so they're running everywhere.
Yeah.
He's like, no, you come. He's like,
it's pure chaos.
But he was handling. He did good.
I'm with Thomas. Go Yankees.
We're potentially gonna. You guys got to win one more, and Detroit might be facing you next. You know that, right?
Yeah, I know.
So, anyway, guys, yeah, I just wanted to shout out that praise at my son because I thought he did, but I'm a proud papa that always thinks he did.
Trying to get some brownie points there to come in the mommy groups, huh?
I'm just trying to talk loudly so he hears me. I'm past needing the mommy groups. You guys dissed me, left me out for years, a decade, just left me high and dry. But thank you everybody for joining us. That was a little bit different this week. That's my 13-hour and 40 minutes or 12 hours and 40 minutes of live streaming today. And that's going to be a day for me. So on behalf of all of us, and don't miss next week. Again, right above Kim's head. It's not just Kim. Kim has had Chris Heffernan on, so have I, but we got Chris Barnes too. And Chris Barnes is like when Chris Heffernan has to say, I don't know, I wish Chris Barnes were here. That's what we're going to have next week. So it will be both, like between them again, everything can be answered. So those of you that have delivered questions at all, bring them. Because these guys are very open. Kim and I just think the world of them and their company.
Fantastic.
And they're so good at and they really they intake things too. So they're not going to look bad. Just don't be an ass, obviously, but bring in your questions, put them in here. Even the deep, dark ones, they want to know too. So let's make it really interesting for them. So I'm challenging all of you to come up with the best delivered questions you have. If you're not on delivered yet, all the more reason to don't miss next week. We're going to get through it all. But with that said, we are out of here. Kim, thank you for joining us. Be safe, earn smart, and
Kindness is always free.
that's right. And we're out of here, you guys.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Why we're slapping